Hey guys, I'm Kate. Welcome back to my channel, and it is very close to Camp NaNoWriMo. And I figured I would let y'all know what I'm working on and also a few little fun obstacles I have going on in July. Unlike most normal Camp Nano or Nano months, I did not do any intensive official prep lead up. However, I have been working on my main project for the month, because there will be several. And then I've spent a lot of June reorganizing, reshuffling, taking feedback from my beta reader, and re-outlining, did I already say that one? Re-everything. Project Death, which is, to me, feels like one of my main Nano projects. It was one of the few projects, I think I started it in Camp Nano, I have continued it in Nano, rewritten it for Nano. It feels very tied to NaNoWriMo for me the past few years, so I'm just continuing the trend. I'll be working on draft 5, and one of the things that I've been doing is using some new software. I have a video coming up testing different timelining softwares and applications, but it has been so incredibly helpful. So a little bit different in that it's been a while since I followed the timeline kind of exactly. We're at the place in the story where I'm adding some new scenes in. Those are those teal colored ones. So some things are going to be completely new. The story needed them for either pacing purposes or foreshadowing, or I figured a way to mash two things together to make it one scene and make it more cohesive. There's some big overhauls happening, new stuff happening, and then there's some where I'm just very neatly fine-tuning the chapters because they're more or less otherwise perfect. But I mentioned that Project Death is going to be my main WIP. I'm going to be continuing to work on the story that my brother and I are co-writing, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to continue writing some romances. I'm going to continue writing my Warlocks on the Boardwalk serial. I feel like now more than ever. I've always said that I enjoy alternating projects because I think it gets me excited to return to the other one, whether that's alternating just a morning and an afternoon or week to week or whatever. But also Project Death is very heavy. Lots of death, which you can see by the red in my timeline. Project Death is very heavy. It's about governments that are really shitty and not actually looking out for the people's best interest. It's cathartic in some ways because Twilby, the main character, even though the god of death is the one who basically decides who lives and dies and names can be traded and all this stuff, Twilby can kill. And she doesn't know why she can kill, but she can, and that's not something that's supposed to be happening, but she definitely uses that to dole out justice as she sees fit. So it is very cathartic in our everyday life, current times, but it's also quite heavy because I'm writing about this government that really sucks. And frankly, sometimes I just need a break from that. It's writing is so interesting because I feel like as writers, a lot of the time we are making very social commentary, very pointed social commentary, but also I use writing as escapism a lot, just like I use reading as escapism sometimes. And so it's tough in some ways to try to escape to Project Death. It doesn't always feel like an escape. Does that make sense? So I'm going to be alternating through projects. I don't have a set schedule for anything, but that leads us into what my July looks like and trying to set up some loose goals with these myriad of projects. So the biggest things personally happening for me in July is that it is my birth month. About right in the middle is when my birthday is. I like to just chill on my birthday, so it's not like an event by any means. I haven't decided if I'm going to be spending it as my kind of perfect day, perfect writing day, putting it out into the universe, doing all the things I want to do, or if I'm just gonna take it as a day to be like, chill and read. Also sounds like a delightful option. Who knows? I like to let it be up to me that day. It is my birthday and I may do as I please. But I will also be going to Comic-Con with my good friend Becca C. Smith, which I am very excited for. I went with her and our partners to an abbreviated Comic-Con in November, but I think this Comic-Con we're gonna get to do much closer to the full thing. I'm a little bit scared, but in a good way. I've been trying to learn how to sew so I could have some nerdy themed clothes. I mean, I always wear nerdy themed clothes, but like nerdy themed clothes that I made. Especially because Becca is so incredibly talented, so skilled. She made this nap dress that is like beautiful. So I've been trying my best. I have one little tank top I made that was meant to be a t-shirt but ended up a tank top. T-shirt crop top ended up a tank top because how to do sleeves was not as easy as I initially imagined it to be, not following a pattern. But you know, I am learning. So I will be spending some of my July time just kind of doing that. July 1st is also a very big day because not only does it kick off Camp NaNoWriMo, in fact, part of the reason I chose to do July 1st the way that I'm doing it is because it kicks off Camp NaNoWriMo, but I am going to be following my writer's clock all the way from write to wait, and I will be streaming for more or less, I think it's gonna be about 9 hours that day. I'm only gonna be really taking a break from like drink heavily, cry, consider a new career, and then I'll be starting back. I'll be on Twitch first and then over on YouTube. I'm very excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And this is really the only day, July 1st, that I probably won't be working on Project Death. I haven't decided if I want to work on a short story or one of the serial episodes or what, but the goal is to submit something to someone or someone's. So we shall see what the rest has in store for me, but let's go ahead then and talk about some goals for the overall month. I am not doing any word count goals. That's one of my favorite things about the camps, is that I can just decide whatever the hell I want to do is what I'm gonna do. I mean, technically you can do whatever you want always, but especially during camps. So my main goal for Project Death is really to spend the first couple days finalizing the timeline and trying to see, to the best of my abilities, that I have filled all of the plot holes and not created any new plot holes, because that's always the thing as you move from draft to draft, where you're like, okay, I know what needs to be fixed, and then you try and fix it, and then inevitably you mess something up a little bit else in the process and need to fix it again. Either in that draft or in the next draft. So I'm gonna do my best with my timeline to avoid that phase, though it does feel inevitable. But otherwise, I'm hoping to get all of Act 1 done and completely written. Now, it's really interesting because of the shuffle that I've done, Act 1's going to be a little bit longer than it once was, and I think there are only a couple completely new scenes. But for the most part, my Act 1 was the most solid of any part of my story. So I think this one is easily doable. I'm trying actually... That was bad, I don't want to jinx myself. I'm trying for the first time in a long time to set goals that I find are like achievable. Not just achievable, but almost like lowering the bar a bit just so I can like glide over it. I did track in middle school, so I'm imagining it a bit like a high jump where you like run up and then throw yourself over. That's what I want to do. I want to clear the bar, don't want to touch the bar, don't want to wobble the bar. A full clear. So that's it for Project Death. I also recently came up with the concept for a new story in my college dorm series. So my main goal for that is to go through Romancing the Beat and see if I can't get a few key scenes written in here. I'm calling them key scenes in that they're the scenes that when I finish drafting romances, I usually know that I need to go and beef up. And so I'm going to kind of do a reverse method a little bit and try and do those scenes first and then build the parts that come much more naturally and kind of easily to me. So yes. I'd also like to take a kind of very loose brush stroke, a quick glance through and revision. I don't know why I'm calling it a brush stroke, but like just a quick kind of an easy, not a fine tune, but just like a whop to the scenes that I wrote for my shared project with my brother during camp in April of this year. We had completely outlined that project together, so if I could go through and draft some of those scenes that I didn't get to, that would be great. But again, we're going with like a bar I can clear here, so that's the goal. And speaking of low clearing bars, I would also like to get 2 episodes drafted of the serial. I think I can do all of these combined. Bit of a challenge, but not like too hard of a challenge. And this is one of those times where it's also like best case scenario. If I feel like, you know what, I actually can devote a lot more to Project Death, as this is my main project. If I'm like, you know what, I don't need the reprieve, I actually need the catharsis, I need to just write as much as I can and live through Twilby killing these terrible people, then all the better, right? So I might, if I get through like Act 1 and half of Act 2, or if I reach the midpoint on Project Death, but I don't get these other ones so much, that is totally fine. I'm kind of looking at it as a collective. Ooh. I talked before about grading yourself, and maybe I could try and do that. So it would be like a total points basis, and then I can add them all up. So if I exceed on one, I get more points, and if I don't exceed, if I fall a little bit short on the other goals, like it would still average out. Anyways, I will leave a link down below to the live stream that will be happening on Friday, tomorrow. Hopefully some of y'all will be joining me for that. And please do comment down below. I would absolutely love to hear what you guys are working on for Camp NaNoWriMo, or just July if you're not participating in camp. And if you also juggle multiple projects, when you think about the end of the month, when you look at what you've done, you take it as an overall too. And if you like crush Project A but didn't do as well on Project B, are you like, still a good month? Or do you really try to stick to the things that you set exactly as you set them? Let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you especially to some of my new patrons this month. Katie Etheridge, author JC Carpenter, A Woman of Letters, Angel Faye, and Aaron Smith. And I will see you all very soon with a new video. Bye!